What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you another one. And this one is From Episode 5, Silhouettes. In this video, I will recap and break down this episode and give you my theories going forward. What up to my thugs, nerds, freaks, and geeks? You're now rocking with the best of Don Tony Teflon. If you can, please subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified every time I drop a new video. As always, 500 is the like goal. If this video hits 500 likes, I will give a subscriber who leaves a comment on this video 1 month of Epix for free. So you can binge watch this show if you haven't been watching it already. This episode is entitled Silhouettes, and we hear a story about a silhouette. How Fatima lost her father, how he was taken outside and it was so bright outside that he looked like a silhouette. And then all of a sudden, after she heard the gunshot, which sounded like a firecracker to her because she was younger, silhouette fell down and her father was killed. This episode picks up where we left off. We have Sarah in the hospital after collapsing. They're trying to take care of her, and people are suspect of Sarah right now. We see this going on, as they should be, because she still has the possession that we're calling it. She's still possessed by these creatures, and they're telling her to kill this boy. And that's basically what it comes down to. What would you do to save others? That's what she's rationalizing in her head. Is it good to do a bad deed for the betterment of everybody else? What I like about this episode is that finally people are trying to take control of the situation that they're in. We see Tabitha, we see Jim. Jim comes up with a plan like, listen, we got to figure out how to get out of this mess. And it's about time. I mean, it took him a pretty long time. I would have been going like this from the jump. But finally they get to it and they're like, all right, we're going to write down everything on this wall and we're going to answer all these questions. And I'm going to give you exactly a shot of what's on that wall in a later video and try to answer a lot of the questions that they have up on there. So that is the first sign of them trying to solve this mystery of how they got there. And then again, Jade's not playing. Why is it that a drug addict guy is the one that is really trying to get out of here and figure things out himself, right? The most out of all the people here, but people are starting to get on board. Now, Julie, she's having a hard time. Honestly, I don't like Julie that much. I don't. I understand that she has problems, but I think in a situation like this, where there are creatures, I think you have to stick with your family. I think just running off to a place of strangers is the wrong idea to do. It just doesn't, it doesn't lend well to me of your loyalty and everything. So you should be sticking by your family. The fact that she just went out there on her own, that doesn't sit well with me. Anyway, if I look at it in a writing sense, then I think that she's there because we have to have a POV at that place. So that's what she represents. But she's not feeling good about herself while she's up there. She's not digging where she's at. So their suggestion is, hey, let's take her to this creek where these people go in there and they go swimming and we can have a good time. And for a little bit, you can kind of escape where you're at. You can just get away, relax, swim around. We don't see her actually go in the water, but she does seem to calm her down for a little bit. After all that's going on recently, Boyd is also on board of, hey, how can I figure out how we can get out of here? We see him looking at the map showing that everyone came from a different spot, but yet they all ended up in the same location. And where Jade took that CB type radio, we see it's been replaced, that spot, with a transistor radio. How that got there, why that's there, I have no idea. But then he tells him, hey, I gotta go visit my wife to go talk to her, and then we see him later go to his wife's grave site and ask her for a sign. That's what he went there for a sign that he's doing the right thing, that he's on the right track. Now, sneaky possessed Sarah is trying to bag up Ethan, and we see her multiple times trying to separate him from his mother. But Tabitha's not having it. She's like, no. She's like, oh, can I take him up to see the animals? She's like, I'm going with you. She sees that something's going on. She's not leaving her child, as she shouldn't, with a stranger. We've seen Sarah that she grabbed a scalpel from the hospital while she's there, and her intention is to cut this kid open and kill him for as she says, the betterment of everybody else, because she's saying that the voices are talking to her, the creatures out there are talking to her, telling her that everyone can leave if this boy dies. Now, he has some importance because we see two boys, right? The one in white, we didn't see this episode, and him, and they're just about the same age, it seems like. So something is definitely going on with these boys. And why all of a sudden is it him that they want to kill? Out of all the other people in there, why is it him that they want to kill? Why do they think that he is the biggest threat and he needs to die? That's something that we have to figure out. Now, while they're all at the petting zoo, we can call it, feeding the animals, Sarah's brother, confused about everything that's going on. He's like, listen, something's wrong with my sister. He knows the deal. He goes to the father and thinks that the father's going to keep his secret. I don't know why he would think that the father would keep this secret, but he tells him everything. And the father's like, yo, we got to go find your sister. We got to get out of here. So they run down there, race down there, trying to find them. Now, this is what we find out that's interesting in this episode, is that they did not always have these talismans, right? So the people there would just hide in these rooms. And around town is a bunch of these rooms that people hid from the monsters at. So we have to figure out when the talismans came into play and how the talismans were found to begin with. That's something we have to figure out. But she shows the mother Tabitha one of these rooms, and when she does, she pushes Tabitha in the room and traps her inside there. And while she does that, she says, listen, I'm sorry, but I have to do this for the betterment of everybody. They're telling me that I have to kill your son in order for all of us to go home, and that's the reason why I do it. Tabitha's locked in the room, and then Sarah goes back out there. She grabs up Ethan. She starts to apologize to him, saying, listen, you're going to be the hero. You're going to save us all. But in order for you to save us all, I'm going to have to sacrifice you, basically. He starts to cry and everything. When this happens, he kicks her. He breaks free. He starts to run away. Her brother comes up from behind her. She doesn't realize it's him. She swings the scalpel, catches her brother right in the neck, and kills her brother on the spot. After this, the whole townspeople come down. They see him dead out there. They try to revive him, but it's too late. There's no way to save him. She takes off into the woods. So then after that, Jim is like, what are you going to do about this to Boyd? He goes, well, if she comes back, I'll bag her up. He goes, well, if she doesn't, she doesn't, then, just something, it already fixed itself. You don't have to worry about it, because she runs off into the woods. That's basically how it ends. He does sit down, Boyd, in the diner, and then the radio plays, and he takes that as a sign that he's on the right track. So what's going to happen to Sarah? She's not dead. We've seen earlier that she knew spots to hide, like they were all around town. So I bet you that she's going to be in one of these hiding spots. She ran off into the woods to get away, but she'll be hiding in one of these hiding spots, no doubt about it. And I think that's how she's going to be saved. I don't think she's going to be killed off. We also see Tabitha write something on their wall, and I think it said, who survived the crash? And that's a very interesting thing to put. What crash is she talking about? Is she talking about the crash that got them there? Because everyone survived the crash initially, right? No one passed away from exactly that crash. So if she's talking about that crash, I think it's going to tie into Jade somehow. And most likely we see those two people. We'll see Jade, Jim, and Boyd trying to figure out exactly how to get everybody out of this situation. I think that's what we're leading to, of those three people working together. We also learned from Jade's rant when he went to the bar and he was drinking that vodka, that they called vodka, whatever it was, that no one exactly knows exactly where they are. And they need to find out exactly where they are in order to find out where they have to go. They also bring up Schrodinger's cat, which is the theory that basically says that something could be alive or dead, or how people could think something is alive or dead if it's in this hypothetical box, of cats in this box. Overall, it was not the best episode, but it did move the story along nicely. I enjoyed the episode. We just can't see people getting eaten by these monsters every episode. I know a lot of people want to see that, but you just can't see that. We have to build this story up, and it has to be shocking when people do get eaten by these creatures. And, we don't have a lot of people left, so it can't just kill people every episode. It did kill someone this episode, but not by the creatures themselves. I'll be doing a call-in live stream where I'll go into further details, and you can call in and give your theories about this show and what do you think's gonna happen. So make sure you're subscribed, you click that bell so you can be notified when I go live. I do believe it'll be on Tuesday night, so get ready to talk about this show Tuesday night with me and the lady LMR. Put all your comments in the comment section. Again, if this video hits 500 likes, I will give a subscriber who leaves a comment 1 month of Epix for free. You got to be in it to win it. So if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and as always, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.